Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Jessie Garcia, and I'm so honored to be here. It allows me to have a moment to reflect on the many wonderful outcomes since graduating from First Step. I'm also very proud to say that I work as a case manager in the most noble organization I've ever come across, the Coalition for the Homeless. You know that saying, find what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life? Well, I'm definitely living true to that. I want to share with you a brief story of where I was in my life before First Step and after. There was a time where I didn't think I was worth very much. A very shy, reserved child turned into a very depressed, hopeless mother who couldn't see how amazing she was and would have never believed it even if you told her. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and great people who believed in her that led to a purposeful journey in finding herself. I was born and raised in the projects of the Lower East Side of Manhattan, surrounded by drugs and violence. Not only was I trying to survive in the streets, but in my home as well. I'm the second oldest of 5 children, and my siblings and I grew up in an abusive household. We were beaten, molested, neglected, and tormented by our parents and other family members. When school staff saw our visible bruises, child services became involved. Eventually, we were removed from our home. However, my siblings and I were separated and placed in foster homes. This wasn't the change that I expected at all. There was such a disconnect that left a void in my heart, and I couldn't understand it. I spent 3.5 years bouncing around from borough to borough. I didn't trust anyone, so I kept quiet and just stood to myself. By the time I was 17, I had a part-time job, was in school, volunteered in a nursing home. Things seemed to be going well for me, until I entered a relationship with someone who promised to show me love and give me stability, which is what I always longed for. But soon after starting our family, I found myself reliving the same situation as I had when I was a child. 15 years in the relationship with 4 children, I had lived in turmoil. I'd been beaten in every sense of the word, and I didn't even know who I was anymore. There was even a time when I considered suicide. But whenever I looked into my children's eyes, I saw and felt the love that they have for me. They needed me. So I thought to myself, there has to be another way. I wanted to seek help, but I didn't know how. One day I received a call from my daughter's guidance counselor, who told me that someone came to the class to speak about abuse, and my daughter started to cry. My daughter told the counselor that her dad was abusing us and was scared that one day she'd find me dead. That's when reality hit, and I realized that I wasn't the only one suffering. I sought counseling right away with my children and made plans to go to a domestic violence shelter. I found that there weren't many options available, or even the time to weigh them out. Meanwhile, my children and I were trying to cope with the fact that we had to leave our community, our schools, and loved ones. But we had to move quickly. I was able to find an apartment and obtain a job. However, I was soon laid off due to cutbacks. While struggling to find employment when the economy was so slow and the job market slimming, I came across an ad for the First Step program. The more I read into what the program had to offer, I felt like I could benefit from it. When I received my acceptance letter to First Step, I didn't know that it would be a new chapter in my life. When starting the program, the computer training came pretty easy to me, but when it came to writing essays about myself and setting goals, I really struggled because all I was thinking about was just getting a job. I didn't see the relevance of writing these essays. But the more I wrote and the more I focused on what I wanted, the more I realized that it's not only about enhancing your computer skills, it's also about getting to know yourself. First Step aims to empower the women with the courage to break free from the barriers that have stopped us from moving forward. They encourage us to bring out that inner strength that we always had but never knew existed. All the questions I had to answer about myself just made me see that questions are an extremely powerful way to focus awareness and undertake personal growth. I've even come to appreciate the significance of my own experiences. As difficult as my past was, it has molded me into the person I am today. When I look back, I see pain and heartache. But when I look in the mirror, I see strength and lessons learned. I refuse to treat myself as a victim and choose to use my experience to guide me through life successfully and contribute to my community. By the end of my time with First Step, I felt like a brand new person. Because I was given the opportunity to heal, I learned to trust myself and started taking action toward my goals. I gained so much by utilizing all the tools and resources First Step has to offer. I came in with low self-esteem, no confidence, and cried many times from my pain. I now speak a little louder, I stand a little taller, and when I cry, it's out of happiness. I know from experience that there's so many other training programs out there. But First Step's effective approach has made a difference, not only in my life, but in so many others. I now accept the fact that there will always be challenges and problems that I'll continue to face, and I welcome it, because I'm now more confident to know that I can handle them when they come. Liz, Jackie, Elena, Anel, Andrew, and Tim, as the team behind First Step, you've changed my life. I cannot thank you enough for opening the doors to all the possibilities and opportunities. I deeply respect all of the staff at the Coalition for doing what they do so terrifically and enthusiastically. They truly go over and beyond meeting professional obligations. A person who I was lucky enough to have as my job coach while in First Step is Marisa Butler. I would like for her to know that having her as my mentor meant so much to me. She's a great listener and enhanced my abilities with encouragement, kindness, and compassion. She's been an excellent friend and supporter, inspiring me to become a job coach as well. I truly appreciate and value everything I've learned from her, and I look forward to the day that I can do that for someone else. I've also had the privilege of taking part in volunteering in a few events with the Coalition, and I cannot express how rewarding and meaningful it has been for me. I strive to do my best in helping those who are unable to help themselves and making women who are looking for change aware that First Step is out there. I like to share my story to motivate the students attending First Step, to remind them that they're not alone. And anything is possible as long as they believe in themselves and work hard to make it happen. Some people give up when things get rough, but those that stick with First Step realize that it's not about achieving the end result or being free from problems. It's about the journey of growth, of becoming more of who you already are. I would like to give a very special thank you to my beautiful daughters that are here today, Ciara and Annabella, my best friends. They went through so much pain and suffered with me. But through their fears, they were brave enough to speak up. They were my voice when I didn't have one. They taught me to stand up for myself, but at the same time show compassion. Girls, there's not a second that goes by where I don't appreciate the true gift of having you in my life and in my heart. You've truly made my life so wonderful. You've always been and always will be my biggest inspirations. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.